here is Philippians 1:29. And I've broken it into the phrases so you can see what it is the Apostle Paul says. Because to you, it has been granted. See the term here? Ekaristhe, you see the root? Same root as charis, grace. It has been granted. It has been given to you. Tahu per Christu, in behalf of Christ. So, humin is plural. So he's talking to the church at Philippi. So to the church of Philippi, it has been granted you in behalf of Christ. So the Spirit of God accomplishing the glorification of Jesus Christ in the will of the Father, it has been granted to the believers at Philippi in the church, umanon, not only ta isauton pistuin, ala kai, but also ta huper autu paschain. So please notice you have what's called an infinitive here. If you see the ein ending, pistuin, is the infinitive, pistuin, and then paschain, to suffer, to believe, to suffer, the infinitival forms. So what has been granted to the church in behalf of Christ, not only, so the umanon is paired with alakai. Umanon, alakai, not only this, but also that. That's a standard phraseology in Greek. So there's two things that have been granted. Not only ta isauton pistuin, not only to believe in him, but also on behalf of him to suffer. Now, let me just ask a simple question. Is it a part of God's sovereign will that his people suffer in behalf of the name of Jesus? If you have to even think about the answer to that one, you've never read the book of Acts. Because it is. In fact, Paul talks to the Colossians about our filling up the sufferings of Christ because we're in the body. And it's a mysterious thing. It's a very spiritual thing, but it is God's intention that our sufferings bring glory to Christ and that they are a part of his sufferings through us. It's an amazing thing. It has been granted to believers in behalf of Christ that they suffer for him. If that section wasn't there, no one would really have any objections to what is said here. It'd be very clear. It has been granted you in behalf of Christ to suffer for his sake. But that's not all it says. Not only to believe in him, but also to suffer for his sake. So this is an infinitival phrase. So you have an article at the front. See ta? Ta pistuon. Ta is making this an infinitival phrase. So you put the isauton in between the article and the infinitive. Make this, again, this is how Greek paints with colors. You can do it with participles. Here you're doing it with infinitives. But notice the parallel. If ta with paschain here is what is granted up here, then ta with pistuin is what is granted here as well. It is granted for you to believe in him. Pistuo, I believe. That's faith. Pistis, faith. That's what it says. It's been granted you to believe in him.